What a disappointing night it was for Caleb Plant. He just lost to Armando Resendiz in an interim WBA super middleweight title fight. No disrespect to Resendiz, but he was a nobody. Plant should have beaten the brakes off this guy. Instead, Resendiz beat the brakes off Plant. Last night's card was supposed to be build-up fights for Jermall Charlo and Plant, with them expected to fight each other later this year. Charlo also fought a C-level fighter in Thomas Lamana, and he did what he had to do. He beat the brakes off him and got the victory. Now it was time for Plant to do the same. Instead, we saw him use his lead hand for 95% of the fight, with him constantly circling. Plant has this tendency to act too relaxed, too cool, be in that Philly shell, and act like nothing's affecting him. In reality, we could expect him to gas out any minute now, and he's also getting tagged. The same thing happened last night. What really got me mad was in round 12, when he was clearly down in the cards. His coach was telling him in the corner, he needs this round, or he's going to lose. He really needs this round. Instead of Plant exchanging, doing what he can and go for the stoppage or get a dominant round victory, he continues to circle. He continues to dance, using his left hand, not doing much, until finally, with 10 seconds left, he decides to exchange. Where's the logic? Another thing I'm noticing with these promotional companies is they follow this trend where they want to have these build-up fights, these build-up cards, where they have two fighters who want to fight each other, the fans want to fight each other, but instead of them actually having them fight each other, they have them fight some tune-ups on the card so they can make that hype and promotion even more exciting for later in the year. Well, history has not been kind to them lately. We saw it with the Day of Reckoning card with AJ versus Wallin and Wilder versus Parker. We wanted AJ versus Wilder for the longest time now, but we were hoping that if both of them win on that card, well, of course, we could see them fight later that year. Well, that didn't work out too much. AJ did what he had to do by beating Wallin, good performance, but then Wilder, probably overlooking Parker, simply looking for that AJ big money fight, got completely embarrassed, completely outclassed. The same went for the terrible Times Square card. Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, which was supposed to be a tune-up kind of for Ryan Garcia. Rolly's a good, exciting, tough fighter, of course, doesn't duck anybody, good for him. But we knew that Ryan was levels above Rolly. Ryan should have won, not just by a decision victory, but a stoppage. We of course saw Devin Haney fight on that same card, which of course we want the Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia rematch. Devin Haney fought Jose Ramirez, and he won. We didn't expect much from him, but that was such a boring fight. So I guarantee you, Ryan was already looking for that big money rematch later in the year. He really wasn't focusing too much on Rolly. Haney, I think he was just gun shy from the last fight with Ryan Garcia, so I give him that, but still, the promotion ain't even there as much anymore. They should have just made the rematch right away. Alright, that promotion, the hype now, just isn't there. I don't think that rematch is going to do the same numbers now that Ryan got dropped and just completely outclassed by Rolly Romero. We almost saw with the Canelo versus Skull fight as well. Of course, we want that big build-up for Canelo versus Crawford later this year. What a boring fight that was. Then we saw last night with Plant versus Resendiz and Charlo versus Lamana, hoping they win, and then they could go right into the fight later this year, and it's perfect. All right, perfect on paper, no doubt about it. To us, this sounds great. All right, every time we get hyped for it, then we fall for the stupid trick. One fighter ends up losing or just puts on a terrible performance, and it ruins the hype. Stop letting fights marinate. Just make the fights now. That Charlo versus Plant fight was a fight that we've been wanting to see for, I think, over a year now. We wanted that fight. Just make it now. How many tune-ups do we got to give Caleb Plant? He already fought McCumbee last year. Did not look too good. Got dropped. Of course, turned it around and did what he had to do, but McCumbee was a no-name, a C-level fighter. How many tune-ups are we going to give to Plant? Just make the fight now. Stop letting fights marinate. It does not turn out too well when you have these build-up cards. Before we continue, I'm going to give a shout-out to my sponsor. That's Hayabusa. Some of the best boxing gloves, some of the best boxing equipment out there. Make sure to use the code ALEXD, ALEXD, all caps. Link is in the description. Get a percentage off your order. So what's next for Caleb Plant? He's 32 years old. I don't want to judge a fight off one loss, all right, but he has 3 losses to his name: Canelo and Benavidez and Resendiz. And out of his 3 losses, the Canelo fight was actually his best performance. He did really good, of course, until the 11th round. Got dropped. It is what it is. That was a prime Canelo at that time. It is what it is. All right, that was back in 2021. The Benavidez fight did what he had to do. Won the first 4 or 5 rounds, honestly, and then gassed out and then got completely beat. And then Resendiz fight, won the first 2 rounds and then got completely outclassed for the next 10 rounds. That's not good. That is not a good look. Listen, like I said, I don't want to judge a fighter off 1 loss, off 2 losses, off 3 losses. But man, you're not supposed to be doing that. Resendiz, a C-level fighter, a nobody. Same thing with McCumbee, even though he won. I mean, getting dropped by McCumbee, it's not good looks. It's not good looks. And you can't be doing that. You just, if you want to show us that you can become champion again, you want to show us that you can be a contender again, that's not a good look. All right, it's not like he was fighting some number 1 ranked WBA fighter. Alrighty, he's fighting Resendiz, a no-name. No disrespect to him. He had 2 losses to his name. Alrighty, I don't know. It's just not a good look. It's not a good look. 32 years old. I don't want to see him go down that gatekeeper route. I know he doesn't duck anybody. I know that. I know he's a tough fighter, willing to fight anybody, but try to back it up. You got to beat these guys. You got to beat these C-level fighters if you want to really beat the A-level fighters like you say you will, or the B-level fighters like you say you will. The Berlanga fight now as well. We wanted to see him fight him. The hype's not even there anymore. I probably think Berlanga would beat Plant. Styles make fights though as well. Of course, Plant not doing too well against the Mexican Styles to pressure him, but things need to change. His corner needs to help him out with the conditioning. He needs to, of course, just do better at conditioning. That Philly shell stuff, that slick stuff, it's not going to keep working. You're getting older, you're slowing down. That Philly shell stuff needs to stop. You got to learn to bang. You got to learn to stay in the pocket when you have to. You got to learn to box. You got to learn to use your right hand as well. Alrighty, listen, I like Caleb Plant, of course. Good person, good fighter, but the route he's going, it's not looking too well. I don't want to see him go down that gatekeeper route. I don't want to see him retire. 32 years old. I still think he could. I don't know. I still think he could be still a solid boxer. But man, if he's gonna have any chance again, it's gonna be within these next 2 or 3 years, and he needs to stay active. These one fight a years that he's been doing, any boxer, I'm sick of it. You can't be fighting one fight a year. Fight twice a year. You got to get after it. Alrighty. These one fights a year, staying inactive, only training when you're in camp. It's ridiculous. Stay active. I want to see Caleb Plant come back and do good again. But it's just not looking well to him. Let me know down below in the comments what you think of Caleb Plant. Who should he fight next? What should he do next? Make sure to subscribe, guys. I'm out. Peace.